Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever noticed that people suddenly disappear the moment you stop helping them? Not when you're rude, not when you're mean, but when you stop giving. They don't text as much. They don't invite you anymore. They don't check in. And the scariest part, you didn't change. They did. Here's the psychology fact most people aren't ready for. Some people don't like you. They like what you provide. And once you understand why that happens, you'll never look at your relationships the same way again. Why this hurts so much. Psychologists call this instrumental attachment. It's when someone forms a relationship not based on connection, care, or respect, but based on utility. What you can do, what you can give, what you can fix. Your friendships, your family relationships, your workplace dynamics, even romantic connections. All of them can quietly turn into transactions, and most people never notice it happening because the moment you're useful, you feel wanted. The relatable pain. At first, it feels good. People reach out. They need your advice. They need your support. They need your time. You feel important, needed, valuable. So you give more. You listen longer. You help faster. You show up even when you're tired. And slowly, that's without realizing it, your role becomes fixed. You're no longer a person. You're a function. But here's where it gets worse. The moment you stop being useful, even temporarily, people don't ask if you're okay. They just move on. And that's not an accident. The harsh psychology truth. Here's the part nobody wants to admit. People don't abandon you when you're struggling. They abandon you when you stop serving their emotional needs. Your brain wants to believe they're busy. They didn't mean it. They'll come back. But psychology says something darker. When a relationship is built on usefulness, your worth becomes conditional. Why your brain doesn't see it coming. This happens because your brain is wired for belonging, not fairness. From an evolutionary standpoint, being useful kept you safe. It kept you in the group. It kept you fed, protected, accepted. So your nervous system learns, if I'm helpful, I won't be abandoned. Your mind thinks, if I give enough, they'll stay. But the reality is, the more you give without boundaries, the less people learn to value you. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. Some people subconsciously lose respect for you because you never make them earn your presence. The psychology of conditional liking. Psychology shows that humans value scarcity, not accessibility. When something is always available, it becomes invisible. When you're always there, you become background noise. So people don't think, wow, they're kind. They think, they'll handle it. And that's when liking turns into expectation. Why this happens more to kind people. Here's the painful irony. This doesn't happen because you're weak. It happens because you're empathetic, emotionally intelligent, reliable, non-confrontational. You absorb discomfort to keep peace. You solve problems to reduce tension. You give before being asked, and people notice. Not consciously, but psychologically. They learn, you'll always adjust. If this is hitting you right now, good. It means you're starting to see the pattern. The role you were quietly assigned over time, people assign you a role. The helper, the listener, the fixer, the emotional trash can. And once a role is assigned, breaking it feels threatening to them. Because if you stop giving, they have to face their own discomfort. Why people get annoyed when you set boundaries? This part confuses a lot of people. You finally say no, you finally pull back, you finally choose yourself, and suddenly, you're cold, you've changed, you're selfish. But psychology explains this clearly. People get upset when you stop playing a role that benefited them. Not because you're wrong, but because the system changed. Why they don't check on you. Let's talk about the quiet part. You help everyone. But when you struggle, silence. That's because relationships built on usefulness don't include emotional reciprocity. They include access. And once access is gone, there's nothing left to maintain. The most painful realization. Here's the truth that hurts the most. Some people never wanted to know you. They just wanted the version of you that made their life easier. Why you keep attracting these people? This pattern repeats because of one thing. Your nervous system confuses being needed with being loved. So you unconsciously gravitate toward people who need fixing, who take more than they give, who collapse without support. It feels familiar. It feels purposeful. It feels safe. But it slowly drains you. And this next part explains why walking away feels terrifying. Why you feel guilty for stopping. Your brain equates withdrawal with abandonment, even when you're the one being used. So you stay. You over-explain. You apologize for boundaries because deep down, you're afraid that without usefulness, you won't be wanted at all. The lie your brain tells you. Your mind says, if I stop helping, I'll be alone. But psychology says, if you stop overgiving, you make room for people who actually care. The difference between being liked and being valued. Being liked feels warm. Being valued feels secure. Liked means you're fun when I need you. Valued means I care even when you have nothing to offer. And the difference shows up when you stop giving. The hard truth about some relationships. Some connections don't survive boundaries, and that's not loss. That's clarity. The shift that changes everything. If you want to stop being liked only when you're useful, stop proving your worth through effort. Let silence do the work. Let absence reveal intentions. Let people show you who they are without your labor. The simple but difficult solution. Here's the mental shift that actually works. You don't need to earn connection. You need to observe behavior. Pull back slightly. Say no occasionally. Delay responses. Protect your energy. Not as punishment, but as information. What healthy connection looks like. Healthy people ask how you are. Respect your limits. Don't guilt trip your absence. They stay even when you can't give. Anything else is a transaction. Final thought. You were never unlikable. You were just surrounded by people who confused access with affection. If this video made you feel seen, uncomfortable, or quietly understood, that's not an accident. This channel exists for the thoughts people don't say out loud. So if you want more psychology breakdowns that actually explain why you feel the way you do, subscribe to Stickman Psychology, because understanding your mind is the first step to protecting it. And you deserve relationships that don't disappear when you stop giving.